Hey everyone, welcome to Stratele Studios. I'm Jeff Castanon. Welcome to another No Pause video reaction and analysis. This one comes from my viewer, Bill. This is conducted and arranged by Bob Mintzer from the Yellow Jackets, I believe. Whew, stellar. Okay, let's get into this. Let's hit that play button. Here we go.
You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Nice. The drum fill matched the horn part. Loved it. Oh my God. bass player is awesome. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, man. That was awesome. Oh, I so love that. Okay, so Ricky was the guy on the Hammond. Boy, this is a great example of playing loose and tight at the same time. What I mean by that is that the overall feel of the whole thing is got a loose feel to it, but they are incredibly tight in playing together, and this is this loose tight thing. So this song is composed by David Sanborn and Marcus Miller, conducted and arranged by Bob Mincer. So I'm trying to get all the names right here. Ricky Peterson on the Hammond organ, Paul Peterson on bass, Bruno Miller on guitar, Gene Lake on drums. Smoking hot. I loved that. So what I wanted to mention to you, and this is it's a general comment of an observation that I have made about hearing people improvise on different instruments. So I want to start with talking about the improvisational part, the solo for the guitar player here. What I notice hearing him play is he's playing a lot of guitar licks. And what I mean by guitar licks, it's, the things that are in the vocabulary of every good guitar player. And there's a lot of pentatonic stuff in there, and double stops, and stuff that we hear guitar players playing pretty consistently, and it's a very, very common among the vocabulary of other guitar players. Not going too far outside, outside the key. You could do those bends and all of that. He did a couple of sweeps and stuff, but for the most part, stayed pretty much within the boundaries of the key. Then we have our man, Ricky Peterson on the Hammond organ. He started, like when he did his solo, I would say like 50% of what he did, or maybe less, maybe more like 40% of what he did was playing around with doing some stuff that was outside the key, or neighboring to the key that he was in. Some of the licks were outside, but because he's playing them in patterns, you can get away with a lot. You can play notes that are not in the key when you play patterns, which is a really cool discussion in itself, but I won't get into that now, but it would be something I'd love to talk about at some point. But he, you'll see me react to it. If you go back and watch my reaction, you could see when he does it, because I react to it, because I love that about people who are taking solos, and whether it's jazz fusion or blues or whatever. I love it when they take the instrument out, because it takes some skill to be able to play, take it outside the key and bring it back and make it sound right in your phrasing and your confidence of what you're doing. It's not just random notes. So it's an art form to watch somebody do it and do it well. So that brings us to the saxophone, the sax solo here. And I've said this many times on the channel, why I love sax solos. Most of what he did was outside. Oh, I so loved that. Most of what he did was outside. He did these real angular phrases and these jumping phrases where the notes were jumping all over the place. And holy smokes, man, he just killed it. I loved his solo. I loved how outside it was. And yeah, so we have these varying degrees of playing outside based on those instruments. And it seems to be, to me, in my experience, hearing that is pretty common. That in a group like this, that's kind of what you'll find is that, like, the sax player is the guy that really knows how to take it out and then come all the way back down to the guitar. Certainly, there are guys out there that know how to play outside. I mean, Alan Holdsworth made a career out of it, but it's a lot of guitar playing is really played inside the key, but there's always exceptions. Don't get me wrong, but we kind of stick to that guitar player vocabulary a lot of the time. But I would love to study some sax transcriptions and get some of those licks under my fingers, because those are absolutely amazing. They're probably difficult to do on guitar, and that's probably why you don't hear that kind of thing very often. But yeah, wow, very, very cool. I learned Donna Lee on guitar, the Charlie Parker song, and boy, it was difficult. This is a song that is played on the saxophone, and I transcribed it for guitar. And boy, there's some weird skips and things that I had to do in order to play that at speed. And this is probably why not a lot of guitar players have that sax player vocabulary, because it's just freaking hard. Anyway, but they're out there. Mike Stern is great if you're familiar with him. He's like, oh man, his licks are just amazing. But so cool, Bill. Thank you so much for this. That was a lot of fun. I'll put whatever information I can find in the description, of course. And yeah, come back for more cool stuff. We'll see you. Bye bye.